Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakha, Chodash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to sincere Ak. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, Shalom. First of all, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakha, Kodash.
Double honors to the elders apostles at Great Millstone who were well in peace and salutation, all sincere Achim. Though they're lifting up the names of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai in all truth and sincerity. Also for, of course, making their bodies a living sacrifice daily, week in and week out. All right, of course, being a watchman to the whole house of Israel, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. All right, you are the chosen people of the Most High. All right, you are going back to the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and we are the Lord's chosen people. And the Lord, of course, has, of course, a remnant that's going to be delivered at this time. They are the election, okay, which is 144,000 first, and the rest of the 1/3. 144,000 consists of prophets that say things before, which they are the mouthpiece of the Lord. And of course, you have the rest of the 1/3, which are men, women, and children, which shall believe in the words of the prophets. And they will receive salvation through, of course, Yahweh, all right, through his son, Yahushai, who is the deliverer, who is going to deliver the nation out of Israel, all right, out of this captivity via the chariots, what they saw so-called called UFOs, all right. But there's going to be a time of trouble, which is already in many places. There's times of trouble, all right. There's famine and despair and desperation, but it's going to accelerate to a point where it's going to be very worse than it actually is in Venezuela. And the things in Venezuela is going to be everywhere and on a high level. All right, so we just gonna get in this article and just go in there. So
the name of the article is "Everyone Has Fallen for the Lies About Venezuela" by Lee Camp. It says, socialism, ditching the dollar, and having natural resources are the three crimes that usually provoke the U.S. into overthrowing a foreign government. And these are the reasons it's backing the coup in Venezuela. It says, there are three things I know for sure in this fanciful, sometimes inglorious experience we call life. You will never have a safety pin when you need one, and you will have thousands when you don't need one. Wild animals are breathtakingly majestic until they're crawling up your pant leg. It says the U.S. presidential administration will never admit that it invaded another country or backed a coup attempt in order to essentially steal the natural resources of said country.
Yeah, so in this particular article, I mean, it's going to basically go into, how, I mean, the U.S., all right, they, of course, they of course set up these different, these various wars, invasions to these other countries, all right, ultimately for oil, natural resources, okay, for financial gain, okay, for their corporation, which America is not but a corporation. All right, the earth is given on the hand of the wicked. The wicked are the Edomites. The so-called white man, they are the Edomites. All right, the elite of them are Rothschild, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gettys, some of the elite banking families. They have the whole world in subjection. All right, and of course they use war, the means of war, all right, to of course obviously benefit and receive more money. All right, and a part of that warring is going in these different countries and to extract the natural resources. Like it's going to mention Iraq and different places. All right.
Okay. It says this is why it was so very shocking last week when members of the Trump administration admitted they were backing a coup attempt in order to essentially steal the natural resources of another country. It says that country is Venezuela.
Right, which, it's something like, I believe that, I forget if his name is John or Brad Bolton. He said send 5,000 troops to the border of Venezuela or something like that. Right now, currently, you have it that there was foreign aid, which from the United States, was set in trucks to Venezuela for to be accepted. Okay, but we know that that's not, of course, something, all right, really that will benefit the people of Venezuela, because it's nothing but a snare, a trick that the so-called white man is placing upon the people. All right, which the so-called Venezuelans, they are from the 12 tribes of Israel. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they may be from the tribe of Ashar. If I'm not mistaken, we go into the 12 tribes chart. They're from the Northern Kingdom. And let me see. I'm just gonna pull up the 12 tribe chart, and then just go back to the article. You have here 12 tribes. You have it. The tribe of Ashar is Colombian to Uruguay. All right, and they are Asherites. And we could go into the the map and map it out for you. But that's not the main purpose right now. But they are Israelites, from the so-called, from the Northern Kingdom. All right, and the so-called white man wants to, that oil and the different natural resources there in Venezuela.
It says, let's take a second to go over the big three. There are three things that seem to provoke the ordinary United States into overthrowing or bringing down a foreign government, no matter how many innocent civilians may die in the process.
Right, which they, of course, bring war to the countries, all right, in which they go to invade, okay, and they, of course, claim to bring what? Democracy, to overthrow a dictatorship in certain cases. They use the terms such as a regime, such, all right, we got to get this regime out of there.
It says, if enough die, the perpetrators often get nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. And I was reading a story. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but they said they was thinking about nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know if the guy was scoffing or whether he was actually sincere, so I'm not sure exactly on that. It says, if your country has one of these things, the U.S. might screw with you. If your country has two of these things, the U.S. will definitely screw with you. If your country has three of these things, then look behind you, because the U.S. is currently screwing you. It says the first thing is being socialist. Pretty self-explanatory. If you don't have the same economic system as we do, we treat it like you have candy and we're not allowed to have any, so we slip razor blades in yours and tell everyone your candy kills people.
Right, you have it where, you got the wicked ruling. All right. Most cases, if you don't got a central bank there in that place, this is a debt-based system. You ain't using that dollar. All right. If you want to rebel against that dollar, all right, you have it where America wants to get rid of you. Okay. They want all the money there to cover this. All right.
It says 2, dropping the U.S. dollar. It says Iraq dropped the dollar, we invaded. Syria dropped the dollar, we invaded. Iran dropped the dollar, we want to invade.
Right, they want to invade Iran. All right, so-called that's so-called Persians. Okay, they're Elam in the Bible. Okay, in which there's a prophecy about that. I believe it says I believe it's in the book of Jeremiah. It speaks of the least of his flock shall draw them out. All right. And you have it where the United States is gonna try to, I believe, bank is some of that nature. You have the least of the flock being Amalek, the so-called Israelis or so-called Jews. All right, the Amalekites and such. All right, being the least of the flock. All right, they of course gonna draw out. All right, get these the U.S. government, the U.S. military. All right, get them involved in Iran to invade. And that's that Lord willing bring forth major conflict, will bring forth World War III and such.
Kind of says Iran dropped the dollar. We want to invade. Libya planned to drop the dollar. We invaded. Pakistan dropped the dollar in trade with China, and the U.S. added them to the list of countries violating religious freedom. It says, I guess you could argue they did indeed violate our religion, the dollar. It says, basically, we do not take kindly to countries dropping the dollar.
Yeah, you have it. The so-called white man, all he care about he worships Satan. All right, as the scriptures tell you, that it says in the scriptures of that for the love of the love of money is the root of all evil, if I'm not mistaken, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, you have it that the so-called white man loves money. Okay, money is it's a good thing, it's a defense, but the so-called white man, he loves money. All right, to the point where obviously he does a lot of wicked things. All right, to of course achieve what his supremacy. All right, to receive great wealth and dominance. All right, amongst the world. Okay.
It says in unrelated news, Venezuela dropped the dollar.
Right, and they of course they ain't using the dollar, and what that's gonna bring with, as you see in the history, when these countries have dropped the dollar, they have invaded these countries. All right, and set up bases and made wars. Okay.
It says 3, having oil or other natural resources the U.S. needs.
Yeah, if you have oil or other natural resources, all right, that the U.S. needs, okay.
It says, in case you were curious, Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the known world.
Yep.
Okay. It says, so these are the 3 actual reasons the U.S. has created an attempted coup in Venezuela over the past several weeks. And right now you are falling into one of 2 categories. Either you're saying to yourself, of course, those are the reasons. Those are the only reasons the U.S. ever tries to bring down governments, or you still have some strange, deep-rooted faith in our Pepsi and pharmaceutical-owned media outlets, and therefore you're thinking that's not true. The U.S. supports the opposition in Venezuela because we want to help those poor, starving people.
Right, the opposition dealing with that's Juan Guaido. You have Maduro, that's the current president, but you have this guy that been trained up by Washington, Juan Guaido, which the U.S. and I believe most of his allies recognize as the interim president.
It says the U.S. supports the opposition in Venezuela because we want to help those poor, starving people. But if that were accurate, we would be tripping over ourselves to help starving and sick people around the world.
Go real quick to that Sirach 12 or was it 13? What was it? About if you should find them first. Sirach chapter 12 and what is it? Get verse 17, 12 and 17.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Right, the so-called white man, he'll be there. All right, so as you have it right there now, I mean, Venezuela been suffering for years. All right, various sanctions. I mean, we have to go a bit more into it. All right, what's going on in Venezuela? All right, where they basically been kind of like blocked out. All right, and you have it now. Of course, the United States want to, of course, really get that oil out of that place because that place is rich in the oil. All right, natural resource. Okay, like say for example Iraq and the various other places in the Middle East, which the so-called white man went and invaded. You have it there now that they have that whole crisis of they had the whole hyperinflation and such. All right, where I mean, like I said, their money is worth shite, nothing. All right, you have it. The so-called white man crept in there. He right there first. Okay.
It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Right, which go to the other link. with the so-called white man, he's currently he sent like trucks with economic or aid, humanitarian aid, which you can read.
And it says U.S.-backed opposition caught on video throwing Molotov cocktails at aid truck on Venezuela border.
Yeah, so you have it here that, you know, the Washington, all right, they sent obviously humanitarian supplies, all right, basically to the border of Venezuela, Colombia. But now it's being shown that, you know, you have the opposition, which, you know, you have it that Guaido, he actually wants to accept the aid, but obviously Maduro, he's rejecting accepting the aid because obviously it's nothing but a snare, a trick, okay, because when you go into it, they want to, of course, invade this place and then overthrow the current president, which is Guaido, and bring him, or not Guaido, Slockett, it's actually Maduro, and put in Guaido, and Guaido is going to be obviously for the cause of Washington, which ultimately they're going to put their different corporations and extract the oil and such. All right. So you have it here on the video. They showing that the actual opposition actually setting things ablaze. All right.
It says, as Washington and Caracas blame each other for torching a truck carrying what the U.S. called vital humanitarian supplies from Colombia to Venezuela, a video has emerged, finally shedding light on the incident. It says the truck caught fire and burned down during a failed attempt on Saturday by U.S.-backed opposition activists to breach the closed Colombia-Venezuela border crossing at the San Francisco de Paula Santander Bridge near the Venezuelan city of Urena. It says the Venezuelan government refuses to let the American cargo in, calling these humanitarian convoys a propaganda stunt and a precursor to a military invasion.
They really want to invade that country, all right? And like I said, they want to take all the resources from the country, all right? So really they supporting, all right, a overthrow of Maduro, all right, in Venezuela. And what it calls doing good from not accepting this. But ultimately, like I said, the so-called white man, if you don't go for what his cause is, you know, he's gonna get you out of there anyway. Set up his, you know, his different puppet leaders. All right, for that word for go back to the precept, and then for the word for undermine, read it again, and then I'll go into the word undermine. It's like
12. You want me to read 17?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Which, when you go into that word for undermine, it means to attack by indirect, secret, or underhand means. Attempt to subvert by stealth, which the so-called white man is as they say, is a very cunning, what do you say? He's a cunning hunter. He's also he's more subtle than any beast of the field. All right. He's the thief. He's a robber. All right. He comes in like a snake. You know, when you least expect it, then he strikes. All right. If you got any precepts, you bring them up.
This is Psalms 55 verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war it was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Yeah, you go to it.
Yeah, so basically what the U.S. does is try to pretend that it wants to help these other countries, when what it really wants to do is steal their resources and basically destroy that country. Because Esau, he just loves causing chaos throughout the world, and just to basically blame you and say these people are below us, they don't know how to act, they don't know how to conduct themselves, basically. They're savages.
Yeah, they don't know how to control government.
Yeah, they don't know how to run their own country. We Edomites, we white people, we know how to run a country. We're civilized, basically.
Yeah, you have it. That's what the so-called white man does. And you gonna have it where this damn devil is gonna go down. All right, where this actually is gonna, all of this stuff is gonna rebound, because the Lord is actually drawing them into, obviously, this battle, mustering host of the battle, because, you know, Russia is they have various interests there in dealings with Venezuela, okay, and I'm not sure if also China does too, but I'll have to go into it. But the different things y'all do in these different countries, I know definitely in Syria and stuff. With I believe that's with Assad. All this stuff is just gonna bring forth World War III. All right, because Russia, is that they're Edomites too. Egyptian against Egyptian and such. All right. Go to that Jeremiah 50, I think 30 or 33.
Is it 33?
How is the whole hammer of the earth?
I think it's 23.
Yes,
God. This is Jeremiah 50 verse 23. It says, God.
Yeah, read that right there.
21?
22.
22, Con. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
Right, and you're going to see that this place is going to be destroyed, okay, being America, from obviously its unrighteous dealings, okay, as it says in scriptures, injuries that's got by deceit, and it's going to be translated from one people to another. It's going to get obviously translated from these damn Edomites, which have control of the earth, to the profitable rulers, the true rulers of the earth, all right, which are the Israelites, okay, starting with the elect, starting with Yahweh Shai, all right, you're receiving the blessing of the kingdom, all right. You gonna see that this place is gonna be cut down and brought low, Babylon, okay, and it's mainly because these various you gonna have it where these various countries in which you have America who ride upon this, the beast, scarlet colored beast, all right, which the beast is on the EU. A lot of these nations are gonna come up against them and burn them with fire, as it's written in, I believe that's in Revelation, the 17th chapter. The allies gonna come against them, and you have Russia gonna come up against them. China gonna come, various nations, all right, gonna come up against America, all right. Read on.
God. Verse 24 it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. It says, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh.
Yeah, you strove against the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right. You've called yourself a god, all right. You say you was a God-fearing nation. Of course, you blaspheme against the Most High. You claim, of course, that this country is ruled off of, or established on Bible principles, and that this nation is under the Most High. And really, something nothing but Satan, that spiritual demon Satan, that witchcraft that you bring. All right, sorcery. The whole people is under gross darkness. All this shit gonna get destroyed because obviously Yahweh Bashem Yahshua set you up. All right, he laid a snare to you damn devils. Okay.
This is Job chapter 11 and 20. It says, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the spirit of the ghost.
Yeah. You have it where the eyes of the wicked is gonna fall. Their whole kingdom is gonna fall, because you have it. The Lord is gonna, when you go back into the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, the Lord is going to bring obviously his armory, right, and bring forth the weapons of his indignation for the work of Yahweh, all right, or the work which in the Hebrew, I want to make sure I check this one. For work, you got mala'aka or mala'aka, right, which is the work, which when you go into it, it means basically you have here the workmanship, work, something be done or made. All right, we're just going into, this is the Yahweh Shem Shai movie, which he bringing that work of the so-called white man being brought down. All right, he's gonna use these nuclear missiles to bring these damn devils down, to be destroyed. Okay, and that's why obviously their hope is nothing. Okay, it's everything that you say so-called white man imagine is gonna go down. Your enterprise is gonna, your new world order is gonna be brought down. Your plans, everything.
This is Psalms chapter 33 verse 10. It says, Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect.
Right. Going to devices. All right. That's these wicked thoughts and plans. Yeah. Going to it. Yeah. Yeah. You go into device. It got, what's that? I went into it before. Makasaba. Right. Makasaba, which means a thought, a device, or plan, invention. All right, purpose. All right, this is what the so-called white man, of course, got. Which, like I said, I was going into the New World Order, the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. Okay, because ultimately, like I said, this so-called white man, he wants to bring forth that mark of the beast. All right, that's gonna be the ultimate form of aid that this so-called white man want to bring to you people. All right, the answer to the monetary system crash. Okay, ultimately. All right, the dollar crash, okay, which you have all these nations of rebelling and de-dollarizing, okay, that's going to bring this whole system down eventually, all right, and you're going to have this place have that economic collapse, and they're going to have to, of course, present the actual, you would say, for the lack of words, the answer to that financial crash, which is going to be RFID microchip, which is as the size of a grain of rice. It also can be implanted into your brain, also known as the NFC, or near field communication. All right, and it's a chip, all right, which you can store all data, all right, your medical records, financial, everything. Okay, or it can have accessibility, authenticate your identity. Okay, these are the various things that the so-called white man has as a as it had wicked thought. All right. Read it again.
This is Psalms chapter 33 verse 10. It says, Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect.
Yeah. The so-called white man actually gonna bring it to naught. All right, as it says in the scriptures. I believe that's in. You could get it. What is it? Job 5 or something. Way he basically, when he shall be eaten, the Lord. Or fill his belly. You know that one?
No, I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I think it's like Job, like 5 or something like that, or 14 or something like that. The Lord is gonna disappoint. All right, the so-called white man's wicked plan. Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
All right, Job 20. All right, yep. I got the precept for it. It's Ayawab, the 20th chapter. And what's that? 23rd verse.
Okay. It says, this is Job chapter 20, verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
All right. So when he establishes a new world order, he think he got a certain amount of people chipped. In our concentration camps, they believe in, the so-called white man's philosophy, what he has for the future of this entire planet being under one order, okay, under him, not under the Most High, meaning, the Israelites, because ultimately the plan is to chip the Israelites and put them in subjection forever, all right? Because remember, the rest of this world really don't matter. We remain... the Israelites are the Lord's chosen people. It's obviously Esau that hate Jacob, Yaquab, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob names was later changed to Israel. Okay, he really hates us, and he wants that birthright back. So he's doing everything in his power to do so. So when he's eating, all right, when he of course brought forth this new world order, his enterprise, the Lord is going to come and disappoint it, right? By what?
It says, and shall rain it upon him. It says, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
All right, which the wrath is his indignation. Okay, the Lord is angry for what you done to the apple of the Lord's eye. The earth is in mourning. Okay, this place is the mom is through.
It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
That's the nuclear missiles. It's going to destroy you. Okay, and I mean that's basically, you know, what's going to happen. All right, which you just skip down to 28.
This is Job 20 and 28. It says the increase of his house. This is verse 27. It says the heaven shall reveal his iniquity and the earth shall rise up against him.
Right. And that's happening right now. All right. All of the sins that have reached the heavens, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is now exposing you for being the so-called white man. All right. The damn son of perdition. All right. The mystery of iniquity. You damn devils. All right.
God. Let me keep going. Verse 28 says the increase of his house shall depart and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath.
So even if you do get the goods, that them natural resources out there in Venezuela and such, you accomplish obviously overthrowing Maduro and putting in Juan Guaido, it don't matter because those goods is going to depart. And like I said, as in the book of Sirach 10 and 8, it's just going to be translated, all right, from one people to another, to the nation of Israel. All right, because Jacob is the end of the, or Esau is the end of the world, Slock, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
It says, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High.
Yeah, destruction, fire, burning, all right, to be ultimately destroyed, okay, and put in subjection for 1,000 years and burnt up in the fire after that 1,000 years expires, all right, and hardcore slavery. Okay, right now all your hypocrisy is being exposed. Okay, you mean you of course set up media outlets to tell your particular narrative, which you got the true propaganda. All right, you got the false fake news and all that, and we, being the men of the Lord, the watchmen, are exposing that, being the mouths of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that you, of course, your own opposition, your own so-called opposition is setting up and burning down aid and stuff, and then claiming that, you know, you would claim that you know, all Maduro is doing it at the border or something. That this is all confusion, and the Lord is bringing that confusion and clearing it away so that people can actually see his truth.
If I can say this real quick, the main thing that the devil, the spiritual demon Satan is known for is deception and lying to people, showing you that these Edomites are in the spirit of their father, which is Satan. That's all they go around doing is lying and deceiving, setting up false pretenses, you know, saying you did this, you did that, basically deceiving the whole world.
And you know, you have it where now the whole world is looking at them, you know, and saying that, damn, this the damn devil right here, you know, this the damn devil right here that we been dealing with, and you gonna have.
He's red and he lies. You know what I'm saying? That you couldn't paint a clearer picture.
That's it. Yeah, that's right. You know, he the red Hebrew Edomite. You know, Yadawan, man.
If they would do a cartoon, you know, of the devil, he would be red and he would just go around lying, you know, tricking people basically, and that's the so-called white man. Right. He's red and he lies.
Yeah, so you know, like y'all had that spiritual demon Satan with the red body with the horns. Well, look, y'all got it right because y'all red. All right. I mean, and we seeing your horns, you know, your wickedness. I mean, and we see exactly for who you are. You're the devil. And the Bible speaks to you so clearly. That's why we call you the devil, for what you do. And we like I said, we only scratching the surface right now. You know, we could have killed you with more precepts, but, you know, for the sake of time, we're just going to leave it simple. All right. Any other closing words?
No, that was it, brother.
All right. So with that, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rahal Kodash.
The double line said that was an apostle at Great Millstone who ruled well in peace and citation all since Rakim. You know, as we see this whole conflict, this so-called humanitarian crisis here, that they want to, the U.S. want to give aid, but they really, you know, caught Malian aid trucks. The aid that they want to give, they Malian it. All right, setting it on fire and shite. You know, and really, like I said, everybody falling for the lies about Venezuela. Because when you go into it, this damn devil invade everything, all right, for the resources. And it's all in the news, and we got the breakdown. you're the damn devil. With that, we're going to say shalom.